Silence, please.
That shouldn't be an acceptable thing in a system like that.
Thank you very much. In all my life, I have lived above board and with integrity. I worked in this government as chief of staff, controlled the budget, and I was never accused of being a thief. Because I chose to serve my people, for the first time in my life, I've been called a thief. I have asked Lagosians to bring the evidence of my impropriety. I came into this office with only one collateral, my integrity, and I will live with it intact and answer for anything I have done. Silence, please. Now, as to the precise nature of those allegations, it is not true that we have not been investigated. There were two legs to the allegation. The first was a petition to the State House of Assembly, and the House of Assembly convoked an investigative machinery. That machinery was stopped by a court order. I will not stand as governor in this state, as a senior advocate, and violate a court order and submit myself in defiance. In fact, the truth is that one wonders where our morality has gone, because I know that there's a court order restraining Dr. Dosumu from further campaigning. And this is the kind of leadership. This is the kind of leadership.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm not a lawyer, and I expect that as a senior advocate, my brother should know that court orders are served. They are not verbal. And as I stand here, I have not been served any court order. My party has not been served any court order. So maybe he has a copy of the court order. Again,
silence, please.
My question yes. To His Excellency the Governor of Lagos State is very simple. In public service is public trust, and the office is sitting or holding is a highly coveted office. We expect that in the last 4 years, this is a period of stock taking. Can you please publish to Lagosians, all the projects that have been executed and the cost attached to it? That is all we need before the governorship election. We want to know how much each project that has been executed by this government. The Lekki Aja Road, 48-kilometer road, 50 billion. 1 billion per kilometer. It will enter Guinness Book of Records. And so many others like that. The taxpayers need to know the way their money is being spent, because they are groaning under serious aggressive tax regime.
Thank you. I do not need to make that modification. It already exists. From the very first day we took office, one of the first things we did was to make our government open and transparent. Not only do we have a website for the state government, we have a dedicated website for the state tenders bill, www.stb Lagos State. If you go onto that website, you will see the number, the name, and the location of every project that this government has awarded, the cost, the state of progress of its development, those that have been finished, and photographs of what is going on there.
Thank you. Now let's get your question. Would you have any questions for any of the candidates?
Well, I think that I like us to interrogate Dr. Dosumu's experience. He tells us that he has 24 years experience in public service. But it is not the length of experience that matters, it is the quality of the experience. Those 24 years have been spent in 3 parastatals to my knowledge. One was Lagos LBIC, Lagos Building and Investment Corporation, where he did not resign. The circumstances of his exit are controversial, but that is not the point. The other, of course, is NIMASA, an MPA. And the performance of those 2 federal parastatals are a matter on which the jury is still undecided. But the point is this. 2 weeks ago, it was published by the current minister, and you will permit me to lay this foundation. It was published by the current minister of transport that for 3 years, NIMASA could not buy a generator. It was renting a generator at 150,000 naira a day for 3 years. But NIMASA is only one parastatal. The government of Lagos, which I govern by your privilege and your votes, has 52 parastatals. Now, if two previous heads of government in this country had lost hope about how to transform Lagos from his party, what experience does Dr. Dusumi bring that offers him? What experience has he had in governance? Because parastatals reports to permanent secretaries, then to commissioners, who report to the governor. How will he manage the ministries and the parastatals? 52 parastatals, he cannot manage the massa.
Thank you very much. Well, I started my public service career as a level 8 officer, and I rose to level 17. And I managed the massa. I'm not aware of any 150,000 per day. I left the massa 2 years ago. I represented Nigeria on the Council of IMO. I represented Nigeria on the Council of International Labour Organization. I was the alternate permanent representative of Nigeria to International Seabed Authority in Jamaica, Kingston. I have worked in government all my life. I remember when we were to start work, we didn't interview the same day. He wanted to join my office, National Productivity Center. I never worked in government. Serving as a chief of staff to a governor does not mean that you have a public service experience. Let him tell us where he has worked before in the public service.
You want to report that? Yes. I think in a debate, it is most unkind to Lagosians to lie to them. I have never applied for work in any public service ministry, and if my name is found in any public service ministry that I've applied for work, I worked in the private sector all my life. My first posting as a youth corper was to Ministry of Justice in Benin, and I declined that I wanted to work in the private sector. I was offered an appointment because of my performance in the private sector to come and serve in the public service of Lagos State. And I think it is unfair to lie to Lagosians that you and I applied for a job together.
Because if you keep distracting them, you will not have time to ask your own questions. So at this time, let me get to John to ask questions.
Okay, this question is directed at all the candidates. I'd like each of you to prove your mettle. I would like to see, or would like you to prove to Lagosians that you have data on Lagos at the tip of your fingers. What exactly is the literacy level in Lagos State? And by this I mean primary and secondary school pupils in the state. How do you intend to improve on that literacy level?
Thank you.
In specific terms, what is the literacy level?
Let's start with you, Conde.
Well, if you had asked me that question half an hour ago, I would have said the literacy level is about 40%. But having heard the utterances of the governor of Lagos State, I think our governor is very unfortunate that he should make such an irresponsible allegation in a forum like this. I take great exception to it, and you owe me an apology.
Mr. Topper, the literacy level, what would you do? 1 minute.
On the literacy level?
Yes.
Well, I do not actually have the figures, but it will be in our manifesto. I'm talking of the All Nigerian People's Party. I can assure you an ANPP administration in Lagos State will pursue a policy of free education at all levels. Lagos State can afford free education at all levels. It is possible.
But you do not have the literacy level.
I do not have the statistics, but I know that Lagos State can finance a free education at all levels, and that will reduce the literacy rate in Lagos State.
Thank you.
The literacy level really will neither be here or there, because how do we measure literacy? In Lagos State, for instance, a child who is in public school, SS6, SS3, in public school, when you talk to him one-on-one, you will admit, you will take it that that child is an illiterate. The Lagos State statistics show that between 2008 and 2009.
What would you do about it?
Sorry?
What would you do about it?
Of course, fund education, train and retrain teachers, teachers that are no good, weed them out, teachers that are good, celebrate them, pay them well. Get the children into school. The inspectorate division should be strengthened, reinvigorated, ensure that there's discipline in the schools, ensure that the school, look, there are some photographs, fortunately Chitoka doesn't have them.
I think a distinction has to be drawn between the performance levels of students in school as between pass and fail, and also the level of their literacy as to capacity to read and to write. The literacy levels published in Lagos State at the national level and internationally is, I believe, 98% of Lagosians who can read and write. It is quite distinct and different from the capacity of children in terms of their performances in exams. But whether they pass 5 or 6 exams doesn't answer the question whether they can read and write. And I think maybe that's the question that was posed, the literacy level.
Well, the literacy level in Lagos State, I don't have the statistics, but I can tell you that for now, the teacher-student ratio in Lagos State is 1:31, as against the acceptable standard of 1:20. Again, most of the schools in Lagos State needs to be upgraded. The teaching staff need to be properly trained, and also amenities in the schools need to be seriously addressed in order to bring it up to the standard where we'll be able to produce good quality students.
Thank you.
It is also very worrisome that about 9 to 10 courses in our university have been deaccredited under this present administration. And for some of us who are from the academics, we feel very pained by that, because we know that it will be sending a very wrong signal for a state like Lagos.
All right, it's time
going through that.
But we will take a break now, but when we return, there will be time to take questions and comments from you out there and also from the audience. So, join us again. Yeah.